Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're doing a little quick one. It's getting toward that time of year where you may want to start thinking a little Christmassy or holiday spirit. And so today I'm going to teach you guys a very simple snowman painting that you could do at home with your friends if you wanted to do this as a present for somebody. Art is a wonderful present to give people for Christmas. It's very personal, and it's something that doesn't take up too much space that somebody can really hold on to for a long time. And so I wanted to give you guys an option. If you want to make something special for someone special, you can follow along with this tutorial and hopefully come out with something really wonderful. So we're going to get right into it here. So our first step, and if you don't have a huge brush like this, it's not a big deal, but our first step is I want to get the whole background covered. And in order to do that as smoothly as possible, I'm going to get it all wet first. So that's what I'm doing with this big brush. I'm getting as much area as I can wet before I start. I'm also going to grab this smaller brush here that you see, and I'm going to get some of the tighter areas wet. Now, you can see I've drawn on the snowman beforehand. Very simple. You can kind of do whatever you want, but he's just two circles, and I gave him a hat and eyes and a nose and some buttons and a scarf, just simple snowman things. You can really customize this to your liking. And so here you see me starting to add some colors. Once again, I'm just trying to cover everything while it's still wet. You can go as dark as you want in this step. I went fairly light. Maybe if I were to do it again, I would go a little darker so the snowman stands out. But being a watercolor, one of the nice things is that you can have some of the canvas show through, and you can have some nice soft colors. And so that's kind of the effect I was going for here. Before I get to the next step, I want to kind of talk about it. And you can see me finishing up here and darkening everything that needs to be darkened. And then after this, I'm going to give it a snow effect. And while it's still wet, just like it is here, I'm going to take my brush and dip it in the water. And then I'm going to basically splatter water onto the paint. You'll see me doing that in a second here once I finish with the background. And what that's going to do is those water splashes are going to pick up some of the color. Here you see me doing it, and you can see some of that color is coming up off of the background, and it's going to give it the effect of snow without me having to go in and paint snow or paint around stuff to make it look like snow. I'm going in here now and doing the ground section. It's going to be mostly snow, and so I'm just going to come in with basically the same color I had for the background, and I'm going to add just some little lines. I can also do that to my snowman. I'm going to go ahead and take the sections I want in shadow and make them in shadow. I'm keeping in mind that this is a round shape, and so I'm making sure my shadows curve with the snowman, but I'm not being perfectly smooth because a snowman is not always perfectly smooth. I live in Florida. I've never made a snowman. You can see here I'm using watercolor to its full effect. I'm layering. That's the most important step in any watercolor painting is adding layers. And I'm just going to layer a little bit here until I get my shadows on my snowman dark enough that I'm happy with them. And so now it's time to go in with some color. Well, color, it's black right now, but I'm going to go in with the buttons and all of the black spots. So the buttons and the eyes and the cardinal's black section on his face. And I just want to darken those up to start so that they have enough time to dry so that I can darken them again. And here you see me darkening them again so that they can be nice and black. Oops, bumped the camera. So it's going to be at this weird angle the rest of the video. I did not notice that I bumped it. But I'm going in now and I'm adding some of our red. And this is a very simple painting. I'm only using a few colors. Just my blue, black, red, and orange, I think, are the only real colors I used here. And so I'm making his Santa hat red and I'm making the cardinal red. And I'm just putting a base coat down for now. I just want to get color on there and then I can go in and do some detailing later. I'm also going to go ahead and make his scarf red so that I can keep the colors pretty simple here. And so now the last piece that needs color is the carrot and the beak of the cardinal. Fortunately for us, they're both the same color. And so I'm just going to go in with a basic orange here and get those started. And if I want to do shadows on orange, I can actually make that with red. And so I'm going to do that in a minute here once that first layer dries. Oh, I forgot that I have a little bit of brown too for the branches for his arms. Here you can see me adding some more details to the scarf. I wanted it to kind of appear striped, so I'm adding some stripes in with a darker red. I think I used a little bit of purple maybe, but if you just wanted to layer more red, it would get the same effect. And here you see me adding red to the carrot to give it some three-dimensionality. So now that our watercolor phase is done, I'm going to come through here and I'm going to add some pen. And I want to basically outline just about everything. And this is going to kind of really section off all of these and it's going to give it more of a graphic effect. But I think that it ended up really nice. And this is kind of the look that I like to see. And so that's what I'm going for here. I'm going out of my way to use not perfectly smooth round lines on the snowman. I want to give him a little bit of texture. Anything that I can do to imply that he's made of snow, just like when I textured the shadows, I'm going to also texture the outline, just to give it a little bit more realism. Same thing here with the branches. I'm using a very squiggly line to make them seem more natural. And I'm going to have this last little branch come through the front of the cardinal because I want the cardinal to be sitting on it. I'm also going to color in his face. I could have done that with paint. It would have taken a few more layers, but since I've got the pen out and it's a small section and I need it really black, I can just color it in with my pen. And here I'm going to outline the ground, just the top line here. And underneath the snowman, I'm not going to do a hard line. I'm going to do almost a dotted line to imply that it's a connection there. You see I signed it, but then I figured I want to do a couple more things, and so I'm going to get into the tweaking phase here, add some highlights with my white pen, and maybe touch up some colors that I think need to be touched up. For example, this scarf was a little light, so I added a little bit more red to it. And I thought that the ball on his hat needed a little more shadow as well. And so I'm going to pull the tape here, and then we're going to be finished. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit the like, leave a comment, say Snowman if you stayed to the end. I really appreciate that. I've had that a couple times on my last few videos. We'll cut here to the glamour shots, and I'll see you guys in the next one.